Westlake. Would you lead us in the flag salute?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sunshine Law statement, all requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been met for this meeting of the Board of Education in the Borough of Oradell. Notice of this meeting was filed with the Record and Town News and all persons requesting such notice. Mr. Darian, would you read the mission statement?
The Oradell Public School is dedicated to the ongoing pursuit of educational excellence through comprehensive, innovative curriculum instruction. The district is committed to providing opportunities for social, emotional, and academic discovery to foster curiosity, courage, and character. Our goal is to prepare our students to become lifelong learners who are self-directed, resilient, productive, and responsible citizens.
Thank you. Roll call.
Mr. Darian?
Here.
Mr. Griffin?
here.
Mrs. Levy? Here. Mrs. Norian? Here. Mrs. Shapiro? Here. Mr. Walsh?
Here.
Dr. Westlake?
Here.
Mrs. Nichols?
Here, open to the public. For agenda items only, Ms. Bozios. Don't go off track. Okay, moving forward. So first of all, we have the parade coming up next week. Do we have a banner?
Yes, they're going to be sending the proof tomorrow, and they guarantee, they told us we would have the proof emailed to us by tomorrow morning, and they have promised that as long as we approve the proof, that they'll have the actual banner completed by Tuesday of next week.
Okay. Who, do they know if they're marching yet? Who's marching? Are you marching? You gonna march to see that sort of thing? Are you gonna march to the Bozios?
Luminous for the world.
By Candy, meet at 3rd Street,
Read the
Rita's house. Meet at 3rd Street at what time? Or at 9?
They usually close the street somewhere between 8:30 and 4:30.
Need to go to park down there.
Before I park down there, you might have to come to a remote.
Okay, so the other thing I'd like to say is this is Rashon's last meeting with us, so we wanted to thank you for everything you did. And we've been working like crazy this month to get everything finished, but we appreciate everything you did for us. We hope you miss us. We wish you good luck. And we'll probably be calling and asking things. And lastly, everyone knows Christine Roberts had passed away. So I just wanted to take a minute to recognize her contributions to the Board of Ed for 12 years. Dr. Westlake once said she was the impetus for change at Oradell Public. She came in at a time people wanted to change, and she worked hard. And I appreciate everyone going in on the flowers. They were lovely. I took a picture of them if anyone wasn't there, so you can see it later. But some of us were at the funeral this morning, which I think was really nice for her family. But I just thought we could take a minute to recognize her for all the work she did for the children of Oradell. And that's all I have. So, Dr. Ansel.
Thank you. So I have just a couple of items. One of them is that the Department of Education releases an annual HIV report card, and the report card for the 2017-2018 school year is what they've recently released. It was released on June 19th. And so the report card is broken out into several sections. One of them is on HIV-related educational programs, approaches, or initiatives. We received a 12 out of 15 in that category. Another category is training on the BOE-approved HIV policy. We had a 7 out of 9. There is other staff, instruction, and training programs. We had 14 out of 15. Curriculum instruction on HIV and related information and skills, we had a 5 out of 6. HIV personnel, we had 8 out of 9. School level HIV incident reporting procedures, we had a 6 out of 6. HIV investigative procedures, we had a 12 out of 12. HIV reporting, we scored 6 out of 6. And then the school total grade, a maximum of 78, we had a 70. So, we're always looking at ways that we can improve, and our whole administrative team has discussed what we can do to improve in a lot of these areas where we didn't get the maximum number of points. So we have some procedural things we're planning to do slightly differently. In addition, we're going to also examine and ramp up some of our training protocols. And in addition, we also believe that the SEL program that we're going to be bringing in is also going to get us some points in that first section that says approaches and other initiatives. So those are some things that we're looking at in order to improve our score. The other related thing that I wanted to report to the board is that the annual HIV reporting period that we just are now concluding, that runs from January 1st through June 30th. During that period, we had one alleged incident of HIV. We had one confirmed incident of HIV. We had 0 acts of violence to report, and we had 0 acts of vandalism to report. And then for enrollment, during the month of May, we had total student enrollment as of May 30th was 766, and the student attendance rate for the month of May was 96.85. And then the enrollment report for June was 765, and the student attendance rate for the month of June was 96.74. And that's all that I have for today. Sure. You want me to do that now? Now is as good a time as any. Okay, so I was reminded that there was a question in regard to the approval of the contract for the after-school care program. So at our previous meeting, I had reported that I had been doing some research for the Finance Committee. Throughout the course of our discussions, we looked at a number of factors, including safety of programs, price of programs, parent satisfaction, and the quality of programs. And so, following the analysis and comparison of the various ones, we've determined that for this coming year, we are going to renew the contract for the YWCA. And some of the reasons behind that decision were that, first of all, we found them to be very flexible. As an example, when parents indicated that they wished that they had a single-day option, they were willing to add that option to what they offered. In addition, they also had a very strong safety record, and I compared 3 years' worth of safety inspections, and they were consistently rated as one of the most safe, with the fewest numbers of errors or problems in need of correction. The other thing is that Although we did have suggestions of other programs that might be worth looking at because of the price, I did contact one of those that was recommended that at that time had a lower price than YWCA, and I was told by that provider that they didn't have the capacity to expand anyway, and that they were not even able to accommodate us if we had selected them. However, immediately after that, when I spoke with the director of the YWCA program, she indicated that they were very willing to consider this concern, and so what they did is they came back and gave us across-the-board price cuts in almost every one of their categories. So when we then compared their new prices to those other competitive programs, they met or were lower than those other programs. And then finally, as I said before, that we had conducted a parent satisfaction survey, and the YWCA also did their own survey. They reported overall satisfaction, but I was more interested in seeing what we would get. We had, I believe it was 83 total responses, and although there were some various opinions about some issues, overall, it was apparent that the majority of respondents were satisfied overall with the program, and we did have a couple of people who specifically said, please don't change at this time. So I think that all of those factors, when they're taken together, made a pretty compelling case. And since we have made a change from a 3-year contract to a 1-year contract, and all we're doing is extending the contract for 1 year at this time, and the board always has the option of making a change at this time next year.
Questions?
Now would be the time. You want to ask any questions?
The rest of the survey data, you said there were some other interesting things that came about in the survey. Were there things that you're going to address with the provider that came out?
Absolutely, yes. I've already shared the survey results with them, and I told the director that I definitely wanted to meet to discuss a few of the comments that we received from parents. So she and I meet once a year as on a ongoing basis. So it would not be at all difficult for us to have that conversation.
I think the main thing came down to when we looked at the safety reports of all the schools in the area, ours was rated the highest. And the other program couldn't take us anywhere we wanted, and then now our program has dropped its fees to, I think it's below the other one, so it was a good thing.
Yeah, I commend the whole committee on the work that you guys did on that. I know it was a lot of work. It feels like you guys did above and beyond the level of due diligence that needs to go into this, so I think it was nice. I hope that it looks awesome.
Sometimes we move slowly, but it was very thoughtful and diligent, and really put the time in. So thank you for that. And thank you, Dr. Ansel, for doing the research. And I think the parents will be pleased. And I was also pleased to see one of the surveys said, please don't change the line. Thank you.
Are we going to notify the person that brought it to our attention to begin with in terms of that a decision has been made?
I think it's up to Dr. Ansel and the team. I mean, in the end, I passed that along to Dr. Ansel.
And also, is there going to be, do parents know that we're renewing with them again?
So the Finance Committee only just made a determination tonight, so I haven't had a chance to notify. I wanted to talk to you first.
Okay.
So now that we've done that, then I now need to notify the provider, but then we'll notify our parents as well, certainly. And then since the same parent also came to one of my coffee events and spoke to me personally about this, I thought that it would be very nice to call and have a follow-up conversation and say to her that we did listen to you, we looked at it, and here was the result. So yes, my intent was to reach out to her.
Great.
Ms. Shelby?
On the agenda for minutes, I did not get a chance to give you a draft version of the June 12th minutes. So they will go on for review at your July 10th meeting. Also, regarding your scheduled board retreat for, right now it's scheduled for the 24th, I have notes that you want it changed until the 31st at 6 p.m. Before I made the advertisement, I just wanted to make sure, because I know sometimes things change, but you're still good with that?
Yeah, I think, we'll read 7:31 at 6 o'clock, right?
Because we
That's
reserved
what that we can make it.
Yes.
And we're resuming middle school?
Yes.
same place. So that's also. And, yeah, I just wanted to say that this is my last meeting, and I just wanted to thank everybody for your support. I really appreciate it. It was my first position as VA, and it was very challenging, and I appreciate it. And, I will miss you guys, and I met a few times with your attorney, Jeanette, and she is terrific, well versed, 25 years in another district, we didn't have no problem, and any of my doors always open, phone calls. You know, I take a lot of, I try to do my best, and I work very hard, and I take pride in my work, and I always try to help them in where I can, and that will always continue. And I appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to minutes. We have approval of minutes for May 22nd. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the minutes of May 22nd.
Second? Any questions? Call the question?
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Mrs. Levy?
Yes.
Mrs. Norian?
Yes.
Mrs. Shapiro?
Abstain.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Dr. Wesley? Mr. Darian?
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols?
Yes. Committee reports, buildings and grounds, Mr. Darian?
Yes, I would, we've had no meeting since our last board meeting, and so I have nothing new to report, other than we're on schedule with new construction this summer. Just what I've heard today in the building is that things are progressing, and so that's positive. And so with that, I'd like to introduce agenda item B1.
Second by Mr. Walsh. Any questions? Call the question?
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Mrs. Levy?
Yes.
Mrs. Norian?
Yes.
Mrs. Shapiro?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Dr. Wesley? Mr. Darian?
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols?
Yes. Curriculum, Mrs. Norian?
No report at this time.
Finance technology, Mrs. Shapiro?
Okay, so Finance Committee met this evening for 2 hours. You'll see from the many items that Mrs. Shonian covered, soup to nuts, to wrap up our fiscal year that is now closing and also looking ahead for next year. I was pleased to hear that many of the items that we're approving for next year have no rate increases. We always look at that. What else can I tell you? One item that changed from your draft is, what was it? Please.
D17.
D17 is actually the Stop and Shop A+ rewards. So, you know, when you go to your Stop and Shop card, that's what that is. Anyway, so for this evening, I would like to present items D1 through D34 for approval.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Norian. Any questions? Mr. Griffin, I heard you say D,
I thought D10 would change, but I thought that's what she was talking
okay,
about.
so D10 is the capital reserve, and that's just a placeholder. We can't go past more than that. That's the number it will be, it's not to exceed.
Okay.
So we just update this placeholder. Any other questions? Call the question?
Mr. Griffin?
Yes. Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Dr. Westlake? Mr. Darian?
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols?
Yes, personnel, Mrs. Walker, not here, so do you want to take that?
Sure. For personnel, we only have a few items, F1 through F4, but I can tell you that some of those items required a lot of work. And one of those items was completed in record time.
Record time.
So I'm smiling because it's behind me. And I'd rather pass a kidney stone than go through this again. So, and I'm serious.
I moved to pass this. You have a second on this?
So, I'm happy to report that we've reached an agreement with the Oradell Education Association, the Teachers Union, as well as the Oradell Administrators Association, the OAA, and they're on our approval list. The agreements are on our approval list this evening. It took a lot of effort from Dorothy, from Christine Robertson. She worked a lot on this at the beginning. She worked on the administrator's contract almost solely. And, a shout out to the teachers who created a subcommittee, and through the subcommittee we were very effective in getting down to the brass tacks and dealing with difficult subjects and working through them. So when we met as a whole, collectively, it was much easier for both parties to caucus and to reach a consensus. And, we reached agreement in record time. Hasn't been that quick in over 25 years. And it was very short thereafter. We went back and forth on the salary guides, and they brought in, they as in the NJDA, brought in their salary guide expert from Trent, and the Oradell OEA, I'm sorry, the VOE, brought in their salary guide expert. And between the two of us, they basically, they've agreed to, what our goals and our objectives were, and we tweaked the numbers to meet those goals. It was a mutually agreeable process, and at the end of the day, we have an agreement, and we have a salary guide that everyone is pretty much overwhelmingly agreed to. So, with that, I want to introduce items F1 through F4.
I'll second it.
I'll go with second Mr. Walsh this time. Do we have any questions? I have two comments. F3 should say that the board approves, not ratifies. F4 should say the board approves and not ratifies. Also, the date is wrong. It should be through June 30th, 2021. On the personnel report, number 5, A and B, it says Michael Lipton instead of Jenna. Number 5, A and B, should say Jenna instead of Michael Lipton. Do you have any other questions?
I have a question. So we're approving on the personnel report A, now that the contract is going to get approved, we're approving, I guess, retroactively?
Which,
For A, under the 5A, sorry.
oh, 5A, yeah. So the first one is for this past year, and the second one is for next year.
I just wanted to double check to make sure I was reading that correctly. I also just wanted to commend both the OEA and Administrators Association, sorry, always OAA, and the board for getting this process done in what seems to be a record time and in a respectful manner on both sides. And so for that,
questions? Call the question.
Mr. Griffin?
Yes.
Mrs. Lee?
Yes.
Mrs. Dorian?
Yes.
Mrs. Shapiro?
Yes.
Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Dr. Leslie? Mr. Darian?
Yes.
Mrs. Nichols?
Yes to all except 8A no, 8B no. 8G no. M no. Let's see, policy, Mrs. Levy?
We were not able to meet today or yesterday, but we're scheduled to, Nicole, were you able to find the contract with New Jersey?
I forgot, I know.
Okay, so we are reviewing to make sure that we are getting everything we're supposed to do with our policy agreement with the school boards as they did our, we did our, all of our policies. And so we will find time to meet later in the month to review that so we can finalize it before the school year. That's it.
Nicole, you have it, or did you pull it yet or not yet? Or not really?
It's what was attached to when we approved it at the 17-18 budget.
Is it easy to get or no?
It's attached to the purchase order.
I'm saying, is it like, do you have it pulled it or
Can
not
I
yet?
get it now?
We're gonna go to a closed session, and do you think we can get it? So that she can get a copy of it, and so we can get a copy of it, okay?
Thank you.
Public relations, Mr. Griffin.
No further updates since our last meeting. We were supposed to meet today and it did not work out, so we will be rescheduling the meeting and I'll give you an update after that.
Tri-district, Dr. Leslie. Old or new business? Back to the parade, don't forget to buy candy.
I was gonna
And a
ask,
lot of it.
I was gonna ask about the after-school program, but I don't have it. So it's good.
Get that off your list.
Yeah, on my list.
Nothing melty,
Nothing melting. Cheap stuff.
not Frank.
I have some old business. I'd like to talk about social media, or the lack thereof, which generally means we're doing a very good job. If you notice, we have our representative from the council here tonight, and outside of that, there's absolutely no one here, which is the best you can hope for in terms of a positive response. So this is the applause.
This is the cricket, Greg, right?
Yes.
You told us about?
Yes, so
That's the
so while there isn't anything to specifically talk about, just notice that this is as good as it gets.
Mr. Darian, I will tell you that I was stopped on the last day of school by 2 people. And I can tell you they're from the community that said that they are actively watching our videos.
Oh,
And they just wanted to let us know. And I meant to tell you that because I knew you would be happy to hear that.
well,
And
click
they
that,
subscribe, right?
click that subscribe
There
button
you go.
and check that notification bell and recommend us to your friends because it matters. Thank you very much for watching.
Any other old business? Well, we need to go into a closed session, so does someone want to make a motion?
Second.
Okay, we're going into a closed session for personnel issues, and we will not be coming back to take any